Welcome to the Weekend Live Show.
508.
We run down the biggest stories of the week with you every Saturday night.
508 is where I'm from.
Let us know in the comments right now where you
508 is
repping.
where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from.
Marshfield, New Bedford, Brockton, Malden, Tucsonville, Manchester, Hanson, Hubbardston, Quincy, Hudson, Gardner, Canton, Conway, New Hampshire, the Garden City, Agawam, Poison, Plymouth, Pittsburgh, Lake Titicaca, Los Angeles.
Yeah, cause we're ruthless, yeah, that's some true shit. You don't wanna mess with cheddar in this cup, we left you catch in the ambulance.
You have a job? What do you do?
Leave your clothes, buddy,
I
and
suck
damn, then
dick.
we're scooping up your friends. 508, where I'm from. 508 is where I'm from.
You lived, I'd come to your house, I'd sit outside, roast marshmallows right in your fucking yard.
NFL on the house, come on,
Let's get this party started, shall we?
Yo, what's up, Turtle Riders? How's everyone doing tonight? Good? Good? Excellent. Welcome to the live show, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Aidan. You can call me Uncle Turtleboy if you want. Turtleboy. Dr. Turtleboy, I actually prefer. You can call me Clarence Woods Emerson. Doesn't matter what you call me. Just make sure you're here every Tuesday and Saturday night at 9 p.m. That's all I ask. Make sure you have smashed that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. We passed 30,000 subs last night. That was a pretty cool feat. Gained like 5,000 subscribers in the last 2 weeks. I don't know if something happened in the last 2 weeks that caused that to happen, but apparently we did. People just took a sudden interest in the program. So that's nice to see. So I'm glad to have you here. Hopefully you stick around if and when the story eventually goes away. I don't know if the story ever will, but stick around because we do stuff like this a lot. Also, I went ahead and I've shared this on the various social media pages that we run on Facebook. My personal account is Clarence Woods Emerson. You can follow me there, message me there, whatever. We have a business page just called Turtleboy if you look for it on there. On Twitter, I am at Dr. Turtleboy, DOCTOR Turtleboy. Because if Jill Biden's a doctor, then I'm definitely a doctor. So there's that. On Instagram, we are at Turtleboy_daily_news. We don't do TikTok. We did that for like 2 weeks. We blew up. We got too hot on TikTok. They kicked us off of it. So that's down now, but that's okay. So just follow us everywhere. Just go to we're going to have an app coming out real soon, hopefully. But yeah. Okay. So there's that. Also, if you guys like here's the deal. So check this out. For those of you new here, so I understand there's a lot of newbies here for this stuff. So a lot of people don't know this about me. I do a freestyle. I'm a freestyle rapper. I roast people on occasion, and on this program. So what we usually do is if we can raise $200 in the Donos, then we will unlock the freestyle chat. So if you want to support our journalism and hear a freestyle. So my freestyle this week is dedicated to 34 Fairview and the cover up in Canton. So I got a whole freestyle rap. It's Snoop. It's going to be good. I promise. So if we can get to $200 in the Donos tonight, we can unlock that. So how you can donate to the program, unfortunately, we are not allowed to use the super chat function that other channels are allowed to use because we had the wrong opinion about the vaccine mandate about a year and a half ago. I had the wrong opinions about that. So I'm not allowed to collect money from you, even though if you want to give me money, you couldn't do it because my opinions are bad. You get it? So I'm dangerous. I'm too dangerous for you to give money to. At least give money to, and then they take 40%. They won't let us do that. Luckily, we built our own thing where they don't get shit. We built Turtle Chat. It's linked at the top of this stream in the comments. You click on that link. You can donate whatever amount of money you want. And when you do that, you get to write a message. I will get, hold on one sec. Is there static today? Sometimes there's static. Hopefully that works. When you do that, I will get an email notification and I will read your Turtle Chat to the class. So you can do that. I can also cash at me at $ Uncle Turtleboy. You can do that as well. So either one works for me. Okay. Am I forgetting anything? We'll do where you're up in a little bit. Hold on one sec. My computer's having an issue charging here. We got to make sure we got the charger right. Hold on. Hopefully that charge is good. All right. I got the black battery there. Give me the white one. Give me the white one. Might have to go get a new charger. I got another charger upstairs. If this breaks, we'll go get another one. No worries. I got other ones. Intermittent static. God damn it. How bad is the static? 1 to 10. Is it that bad? Stop it, Captain Skid Marks. Relax. All right. All right. Let me just pull this up here 1 sec. Okay, we already got a couple. I'll read those off periodically. I'm going to get static is a 7. I'm going to be right back. Don't go anywhere. I got to get a new charger. Be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Hold on. All right, right there. Hold on. All right, hopefully that works. We'll see. If not, we're fucked. We'll see what happens. All right. Anyway, so yeah, you guys can do it that way. Let's just jump right into it. So anyway, let me pull up a couple interesting things that I have here about this updates on the case. That's pretty much what we're talking about here. We will eventually move on to new stories, but obviously this is a big week because it's going to culminate on Wednesday. I will be in Dedham. Never been to Superior Court in Dedham. It's one of the few courthouses I haven't been to in this state, but I will be there. And you're all welcome to join. I think a lot of people are going to stand outside and show support for Karen Reed that way. But I'm going to be in the courtroom, hopefully, and sitting on the side of the defense and just observing and watching. And I will be having questions because I am so sick of these people, the brazenness of these people. So today, I want to show you a couple pictures here. Let's see. There's those. Hold on 1 sec. I got more pictures here of there was a little league parade today in let's see. Where'd they go? Here they go. Okay. There was a little league parade today in Canton, opening day. And so this is a big day in the community. And you would think that these people who have now been thoroughly pretty much exposed as, you know, being involved in a murder cover-up of a Boston police officer would try to keep a low profile, maybe. I mean, that's what I would do. First of all, I wouldn't murder anyone. So that's another difference between us. But if I was aware, if I was somebody like Chris Albert, for instance, so Chris Albert is, of course, the brother of Brian Albert and the father of Colin Albert, and he's on the board of selectmen, and he runs a pizza shop in town. Somebody in the comments was like, the other day, they said, he does a lot for the community. Oh, really? Does he? What does he do besides make a mediocre steak and cheese? Like, what exactly does he do for the community? But this guy is just so brazen. Now, in fairness, Chris Albert was not. Nobody seems to believe that Chris Albert was in the house that night, right? So let me pull up these pictures. So he has a right to go there, I guess. But I don't know. If it was me, I would resign. I would just, you know, because shit's going down. But they're literally walking around like nothing happened. So let's bring this up. Yeah, so this is Little League whatever today. Who do we got here? So we got Chief Diversity here. I think that's the Board of Selectmen guy. Jeez Louise. That belt is begging for mercy, isn't it, folks? Got to work on the tie there, too. And then we have, there would be Chris Albert. And who else do we have here? What's this picture of? Oh, there's the parade, walking around with the kids. Just normal. I guess they don't think it's a big deal. Oh, there they are. Okay. So they're just whatever. And like, so I got this text message today, and I'll read this to you. from people in Canton. They're telling me that they said, I'm assuming someone sent you the prom pictures from the McCabe's house. She practically has the entire high school at her house, all smiles for prom. Her and Meg Kennedy. Meg Kennedy is the woman. She's like a guidance counselor, I think, at Stoughton High School, some type of counselor. She came at me on Twitter over this stuff. She's friends with all these people. She's just another townie that just is completely buying the Kool-Aid. And I'm so sick of these people. Like, if my friends were like, everybody knows Jen McCabe was involved in a murder cover-up. I'm sorry, if that were my friend and I find out like you're involved in the murder cover-up, no offense, that's the end of our friendship. And it's not really a hard one to end either. I can't be associated with you because you cover up murders. Okay. That's just, you're not my kind of person anymore. Not only do you make me look bad, you're also kind of like a shitty person because you cover up murders. So I don't want anything to do with you. And it's undeniable at this point that Jennifer McCabe helped to cover up a murder because she Googled how long to die in snow at 2:27 a.m. 3.5 hours before any body was ever discovered in snow. Remember, she didn't know that he was in the snow. And that's another thing I thought about today too. So if their story is legit, which it's not, obviously, we are to believe that at one point, all of those people walked out of that house and not a one of them noticed a body like lying on the ground on the lawn. It's your phone too close? I don't think it's the phone. I think it's the cord. Is the cone really that? Is it that bad? This is why women are not allowed to vote. That's my line. Yeah, so they got it. So her house was not the death house. Her house was, and I'm not going to show the prom pictures because it's mostly kids, but she's tagged in it by Meg Kennedy. Meg Kennedy posted it on Facebook today. Like nothing's wrong. They're just going. And if I'm one of these parents, no, my kids aren't going. My kids aren't hanging out with the McCabe kids. They're not going to their house. They're not like, we're not associating with that trashy broad because that's what she is. She thinks she's goddamn Queen Bee. And I think a big problem with this town is they haven't got a visit from me yet. Like, they are way too comfortable. And what I'm really good at is making people uncomfortable. And so like the next Board of Selectmen meeting, I'm going. Like, I saw that. I'm like, oh, I need to go. I'm going there. I'm going to talk there. We need to start making these people a little bit uncomfortable because no one in Canton's going to do it because people in Canton are too scared. And I get it, except for that one Asian lady there from the Boston Globe that likes the Boston Globe. She's not scared. I'll give her that. I don't think she likes Turtleboy, but she doesn't like murderers in her town either. And so I get why they're afraid, but I am not afraid at all of these people. Like they should fear me. Chris Albert's not returning my messages. He messaged me one day. I showed you that last week. He messaged me. Can we talk about this? There's some misinformation here, blah, blah, blah. And I had already written the blog after I responded. I'm like, yeah, let's talk now. He hasn't gotten back to me. He hasn't gotten back to me. So yeah. So they're just walking around like nothing's happening. So what I wanted to do tonight is go over some new stuff here. And if you give me one moment, I have here a complaint. I want to go over this whole, just to show you how shady. I put Mike, the three people I put on the thing today are Michael Proctor, Jennifer McCabe, and Chris Albert. Because they're the ones I think that are like most invested in the cover up. I don't think any of them was involved in the actual death of John O'Keefe, but all of them were involved in the cover-up. So give me one moment here to just bring up, I got a lot of shit I got to talk about here. But first I need to bring up this whole complaint with the geofence thing, because I reread it all today, and I feel like there's some stuff there we didn't hit hard enough about the taillight. So give me one sec to bring it up. Hold on. I got it here somewhere. I got pictures of like, hold on one second. Can the person who sent me that thing, you know what I'm talking about, the 24-page document there. Can you send that again so I don't have to go through my phone and look for it? I thought I had it ready, but I guess not. There's a lot to this. Okay, one sec. I found it. Okay, here it is. Copy that. Copy. And send it on Facebook Messenger. Paste. Why won't the paste come up? How can I copy this? Copy. Paste. Okay, there we go. I got it. Let's bring up this document. We need to talk about this. Can I access that? All right. Can the person out there, I know you're listening right now, can you please send me that on Facebook? The document you sent me before with the geofence stuff. I'm having trouble transferring. This is why I like to use Facebook Messenger. Just message me on Facebook. It's so much easier. So if you could message me that document that I'm talking about, and so I can read it to the class right now. Can you send that? Send that on Facebook, because I want to look this over. In the meantime, I'll show you some more pictures here that I want to talk about, some things I want to get to. I also noticed this. Michael Proctor, I don't understand how this guy is still on the job. So for those of you unfamiliar, Michael Proctor is the friend of the McCabes. I do need an assistant. You're right. All right. So Michael Proctor is a friend of the McCabes and of the Alberts. And he lives in Canton. And as you can see here, he spelt the names wrong 4 times. 4 different girls. Sarah Levinson, Emily Fabiano, Catherine Duty, spelled her first and last name wrong. Her daddy is the town administrator and former fire chief, who was the fire chief on the day that Mr. O'Keefe was found dead. And Caitlin Albert is also spelt wrong. They're all spelt wrong. Why are they being covered for? That's a good question. So anyway, if the person, you know what I'm talking about, I'm texting you right now. I know you're watching. Could you please send me that on Facebook? That would speed this thing up. Okay. Anyway, what else do we have here? What is this thing? Okay, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all this shit, but I need this goddamn thing. Hold on. Copy. It's a fucking file. Why can't I send it on Facebook? It's a PDF on Facebook Messenger. Why can't I click on that? Hold on. I'm just going to call her real quick because she's not returning my... Hold on. Can you send me that document? Are you watching right now? Oh, okay. I've been trying to get you to send me that document. The 24-page document, the geofence. Yeah, can you send it on Facebook? Because I can't get it on text. I can't open it. The geofence stuff that you wanted me to look at. It was really good stuff. We talked about it. Okay. All right. Okay. Anyway, yeah, but she was the assistant that... All right, let me read some turtle chats in the meantime while we're looking this up, and I'll explain what this means. All right. All right, so we have here, Katsu sends $50 and says, thank you for all you do. You're very welcome, Katsu. I appreciate that. What else do we have? We also have Marie sends $5. Oh, no, this is 2 days ago. Hold on. Wrong one. We also have Jay sends $50. Thank you, Jay. Says, give up the good work. I think you meant keep up the good work. I think I'm the opposite of that. I appreciate that, Jay. Amanda sends 10 and says, keep on doing what you're doing. You're amazing. You're very welcome, Amanda. Thank you. Michelle sends 10, says, can't wait to see them all arrested and charged. I appreciate that. And then we have Justin Green sends 100. Appreciate that. It says from one of many law-abiding Canton citizens. So thank you very much. We've unlocked the freestyle rather quickly, so that's cool. I appreciate the donos, guys. We're going to do the freestyle a little later on now. But in the meantime, hopefully we get this document soon. Hopefully. And we can go over it. But okay. Yeah, I'm not going to share the title. I just want the document. If you could just send me the document. I can't do the show without it. I need that document, the PDF file. It's a public document. It doesn't say any names on it. So I mean, I could read it myself, but I'm just trying. I could screenshot it, send it, but we'll be here all fucking night. If you could just do copy and paste on Facebook Messenger, it'll be over. Copy, paste, done. Okay, there we go. We got it. Here we go. Okay. All right, there it is. Okay. Why is this not working? Yeah, there's no names on here. Okay, so this is a court filing from that we're going to look at in one moment. It is from, what's the date on this? September 15th, 2022. This is when things started getting interesting. All right, give me one sec. All right, so let me read this to you. This is how shady this whole investigation was. All right, so given that several prosecution witnesses and potential suspects, namely Brian Albert and his close friend Brian Higgins, were so closely tied to the Canton Police Department, jurisdiction was transferred to the Massachusetts State Police. Can you guys read that, or do I need to make it bigger? Hopefully you can read that. Moving on, it says, despite the fact that high-ranking members of the Canton Police Department have continued to insinuate themselves into the investigation of this case, a timely recovery of evidence, and the involvement of law enforcement agents who have close personal relationships with the witnesses, blah, 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 and potential suspects involved in the case, at the very least, raise objections and questions as to the objectivity and veracity of the investigation conducted to date. According to the supplemental report prepared by Canton Police Sergeant Michael Lank, and remember, Michael Lank was the same police sergeant. Make it bigger. That's what she said. Hold on. Okay. So Michael Lank was the same police sergeant that answered the infamous, like when Chris Albert was in trouble 20 years ago and he got in a bar fight, he immediately went up to Officer Lank at the time and told him about it. And then Officer Lank was drinking and then just clocked himself in and arrested the two other guys that he got in a fight with. And those guys ended up suing the police department after they were acquitted. Sergeant Lank was the only person that went in the house that night. The only one that went into 34 Fairview Road that night. So he was literally inside a murder scene, but somehow his detective skills didn't kick in. And he didn't consider any of them suspects, which is crazy. Like a body is found in your front lawn and you're not even considered a suspect in that, which is just absolutely nuts. But Michael Lank at the first responders secured the scene shortly after 6 a.m. Lank, Lieutenant Gallagher, and Sergeant Good attempted to retrieve as much evidence as possible in and around the area where Mr. O'Keefe had been found. They used an over-the-counter leaf blower to blow away the top layers of snow. During grand jury proceedings, Sergeant Good testified that he and his team spent, hold on, what does this say? You can hear it when so I'll just move the phones over. Okay, I'll just move all the phones over then, if that's what's causing static. Okay. They use an over-the-counter leaf blower to blow away the top layers of snow. During the grand jury proceedings, Sergeant Good testified that he and his team spent approximately 2 hours using the leaf blower to clear off the scene. Pretty good. 2 hours. That morning, they recovered the following evidence from the crime scene: a clear broken drinking glass. A clear broken drinking glass and 6 frozen blood drops, which they placed into over-the-counter red Solo plastic cups that a neighbor provided. So that's where somebody asked earlier where the Solo cups came from. That's apparently they just asked a neighbor, hey, can we use some Solo cups of yours? And the neighbor just provided them for them. And that's how they do police work, I guess. In Canton, that's how again, I'll show you that image. If you haven't seen this image already, check this out. This is literally how the evidence was collected. That's it. That's it. So there's some frozen blood in there, I guess, in a paper bag, and that's how they collected evidence in a murder investigation. Good job. Good job. Absurd is correct, Paul. That's right. Anyway, let's read some more of this. That morning, they recovered the 6 frozen, no red or clear, and this is the important part. No red or clear pieces of plastic consistent with a taillight lens were observed or recovered by any officers inspecting the scene at that time. So again, what did they find? A clear broken drinking glass, which I still don't know what that was doing there, and 6 frozen blood drops. We obviously know what that's doing there. He was bleeding, but no red or clear pieces of plastic with a taillight lens were observed or recovered by any officers inspecting the scene at that time. Now, keep in mind, at 6 a.m. when these cops got there, there was a grand total of 2 inches of snow accumulated on the ground. 2 inches, that's it. By 6 in the afternoon, that was much different. It was almost like a full foot of snow. And so that obviously changed. Now, the Massachusetts State Police officially assumed jurisdiction of the case upon Mr. O'Keefe's passing at 7:59 a.m. According to Trooper Proctor's affidavit filed in support of the geofence search warrant, Trooper Proctor claims that he and Sergeant Buchanan traveled to 345 Country Hill Drive in North Dighton, Miss Reed's parents' residence, for the purpose of interviewing Miss Reed and recovering her black Lexus SUV. So for those of you unfamiliar, Dighton is a town in Bristol County, Massachusetts. It's probably like, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes south of Canton. And so that's where she went to be with her parents. Goes on to say, according to his sworn affidavit, upon arriving in North Dighton at 4:30 p.m. on January 29th, Trooper Proctor claims, and we know him to be a liar now, so what he claims doesn't really matter, claims that he noticed that the right rear passenger side taillight of Miss Reed's vehicle was shattered, and a large red plastic piece was missing from the taillight. He just noticed that immediately somehow. According to his sworn affidavit, at approximately 5:30 p.m., Sergeant Buchanan and I seized the black Lexus from the driveway, and Diamond Towing transported the vehicle to the Canton Police Department, where it was secured in their Sally Port garage. Thus, Trooper Proctor claimed that the seizure and subsequent towing of the vehicle did not occur until 5:30 p.m. It's very important, this timing. I'm going to show you why now. Wait till you see this, because this once again proves what a horrible, disgusting liar Mr. Proctor is. Trooper Proctor. All right, let's check out this photo. So this is a picture of evidence presented in court of Karen Reed's Lexus being towed from her parents' house in Dighton. Notice the time. Anybody see what time that is? Also notice, by the way, there is her, although, yeah, this is the taillight that's supposedly all out. I see it on, but okay. Driveway front. This is at January 29th, 1612, which for those of you unfamiliar is 4, correct, Galamasus. That is 4:12 p.m. What time did Michael Proctor say that the car was towed? What time did Michael Proctor say the car was towed? He said it was towed at 5:30 p.m. Didn't he? Didn't he? Now, that's interesting. So the guy who, as we're going to see, magically finds pieces of taillight that the Canton Police Department missed and finds it in like a foot of snow later on that no one else saw before. He has the car at 4:12 p.m. But he says he had it at 5:30. So that gives him an hour and 18-minute window there in which he has the car by himself, doesn't he? And he can do whatever the fuck he wants with that thing. Remember that. 4:12 p.m. the car was towed. So he's lying. He is lying in his affidavit when he says 5:30. He towed the car at 4:12 p.m. And what we're going to see here is that the ADA's office, if you're the ADA's office, you work for your Adam Lally. It is your job, obviously, to prosecute, but you also can't prosecute people who you know are innocent, and you can't lie. And so after being presented with that evidence, how do you make sense of that? Well, according to Adam Lally, as we're going to see, guess what he blames it on? Daylight savings. He blames it. He goes, no. That wasn't 4:12 p.m. That wasn't 4:12 p.m. What do you mean it wasn't 4:12 p.m.? Oh, you didn't set it back because of daylight savings. What century is this? Where, like, I don't know a single, maybe besides my oven, I don't know anything that requires me to reset the clock for daylight savings. First of all, it's January 29th. Daylight savings happens in November. So you're saying they didn't reset their daylight saving times for 3 months? Well, also notice in that picture, it's not, the sun has not gone down yet in that picture. What time does the sun set on this day? Let's see. Oh, the sun set at 4:56 p.m. So when we saw that picture at 4:12, there was light. That means the sun had not set yet. At 5:30, when he says he took it, the sun had set. So that picture would be completely dark if that happened at 5:30. You shameless freaking liars. That's what these people are. I mean, this should scare the shit out of all of you. Karen Reed is, quite frankly, just insert name here. Like, it could have been someone was getting blamed for that night. If Karen Reed was not there that night, they would have blamed somebody walking their dog. So, you know what I mean? Like, they would have found somebody. She just happened to be the perfect patsy for that night. But again, this is all in, like, I see Caroline's like, TB found it all. No, this is all in court documents. I'm just the only one who seems to be like, what the fuck? Like, let's talk about this. Why isn't the mainstream media reporting this? Why is the mainstream media still referring to, like, not naming Jen McCabe? How are they, like, how are you not naming her? How are you not naming Brian Albert? How are you not saying these names? So anyway, back to the documents here. Yeah, smash that like if you guys haven't done so already. And if anyone else wants to donate, you can click on the link at the top. That's to something called Turtle Chat. You can donate whatever amount of money you want. And when you do that, I will get a notification. I'll read it out loud like this. Kathleen sends $10 and I'll get you get to write a message and I'll read the message out loud to the class. Kathleen sends $10, says, keep it up, Dr. Turtleboy. Don't know why the DA won't drop charges against Karen. It is insane. I'm going to ask him all about that on Wednesday. And I will say this, a lot of people in Canton are saying, like, so the people that are holding, like, I've talked to inside sources there, and they're basically like, everyone in Canton who they want to believe the police. They want to, they don't want to think that they live in a community where the police would do something like this. So they're just hoping that the ADA has some big bombshell on Wednesday that's going to refute all this, that we've all been fooled by these fancy schmancy defense attorneys flown in from Los Angeles or wherever in Boston, and they think they're wicked cool with their suits and their high priced, $1,000 an hour, whatever, and whatever retainers, you name it. They're con artists. That's what they want you to think. But wait, the DA's office has a bomb. They're not going to tell us what it is. And so the people of Canton are kind of hoping they're waiting for Wednesday. And I got bad news for those people. It's not happening. Like, the emperor has no clothes here. And I think at that point, I think a lot of people are going to start to change. I think a lot of people are going to start to change. So where are Traub's texts? We'll see. I'm going to hang on to those. I got them, though. Don't worry. I'm going to play with them a little bit. There's a method to my madness. So yeah, like I see this, I'm seeing a lot of this, my family has deep ties in Canton, and my aunt is in full denial about this. I get it. And I'm seeing a lot of that. Like, nobody wants to believe that this is true. It's so much easier. And I'll tell you one thing that I really think would help. And honestly, I think would fix this. The people with the power to fix this more than anything are the administrators in the Boston Police Department. If the Boston Police Department put out some sort of statement in which they expressed skepticism or dissatisfaction with the way this is heading, and they said, look, this is one of our officers who was murdered in this town. Upon the new, evidence, upon seeing new evidence, it is clear that there is more to this case than meets the eye, and that a more thorough and appropriate investigation is needed to bring John O'Keefe's killers to justice. If they put that out, if Boston Police Department put that out, everything would change. Everything. That would light it would be huge news. Like that, the media would talk about it. Like, oh, Boston Police Department accuses other police department of covering. You know what I mean? Like, that would light a fire with the state police, with all these people. And they would it would be a game changer. So why is the Boston Police Department quiet about this? One of you have 2,000 officers in the Boston Police Department. One of them was murdered, man. Murdered by another cop and a bunch of people who aren't cops, quite frankly. And it was covered up. That's one of your boys. It's one of your people. You don't have his back. I mean, that's what you're telling me. You do not have, don't say that you have, don't tell me thin blue line bullshit. Throw all that thin blue line shit in the trash. It's worth fucking nothing, because one of yours was killed and your official statement is nothing. We're going to go along with the lies that the murderers are telling us. So Brian Albert, my sources tell me, did try to retire, but it was denied. They denied it. And I don't think he's on the job. I'm hearing he is living in an apartment in Norwood right now. So let me see what it is. Oh, nice. Anyway. So yeah. So that, we'll see what happens. Let me read the next turtle chat here. We got from Incredible Cocktail Glass, sends $50 and says, somehow the cocktail glass made it from McCarthy's to Fairview. Is that what they're suggesting? So I don't get the cocktail glass thing. What is the insinuation there, that he was holding it when he died, or that she hit him with it? I don't get the cocktail glass. Maybe someone can explain that one to me. But she goes on to say, McCabe notes it in her interviews regarding Reed at Waterfalls. Remember she said that that was one of the lies she told, that Karen Reed brought one drink from one bar into another. And she's doing that to make Karen Reed look like a drunk. Quite frankly, she's doing it to make her look like a drunk. And by the way, I'm also sick of hearing from these people, and including people from his family, from the Rizzitano side of the family. Some of them are good people. Some of them are not. I got this one lady up my ass in my inbox, one of the Rizzitanos up my ass. I could show you her messages. Maybe I will. But she's all like, she's trying to tell me that they were broken up. They were not together. And I'm like, I'm not trying to hear that, because all you're doing by telling me that Karen Reed and him were broken up is you are trying to feed into this narrative of motive for her. That no, she hated him. Like, that's all that is. And we're not going there because she didn't do it. And it pisses me off when I see his side of the family doing that. And not all of them. A couple Rizzitanos are in my inbox and they're like, fuck my cousin. They're like some of the Rizzitanos are, because the Rizzitanos is his mother's maiden name. And they're basically like, my cousin's a fucking moron. Don't listen to them. And it's like, I don't get it. Like, if this was my loved one that was killed, I would not be fucking going after the wrong person. Anyway, let me read some more of this message. She says, and then it's recovered at scene. No way. So we're to believe she brought it out of McCarthy's and into and out of Waterfall, then killed him with it. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're saying. Like, I don't understand the cocktail glass aspect of it. Got another one here from Spicy, sends $10, says, fuck your couch, B. Thanks, Spicy. Gary sends $50, says, let's do the time warp. And Canton sends $25, says, not everyone in town thinks they're innocent. Canton has had corrupt cops for as long as I can remember. I mean, it's certainly incestuous. Let's just put it that way. Now, let's go back to this document. Okie dokie. So, let's see. So it says, Trooper Proctor claimed that he noticed the right rear passenger side. Hold on. All right. So, Trooper Proctor claims that he noticed that the right rear passenger side taillight was shattered in a large plastic, whatever. So this is the 5:30 thing again. He claims it was taken at 5:30. But according to Kevin O'Hara, the team leader of the Massachusetts State Police Emergency Response Team, let me make that bigger. Emergency Response Team, CERT. He received a call from State Police Lieutenant Brian Tully on the afternoon of January 29th, stating that he did not have authorization to dispatch the search team yet, but was going to need assistance searching for evidence on the roadway in front of the residence located at 34 Fairview Road. Subsequent reports confirmed that at 5:30 p.m., the CERT team, along with Detective Lieutenant Brian Tully from the State Police, conducted a search of the crime scene located outside of Fairview residence. So at 5:30, at the exact time when Proctor claims that he is towing the car, don't you think he picked 5:30 for a reason? The state police decide at 5:30 p.m. they are going to research the area that the Canton police have already searched. But keep in mind, in that time, a lot has changed, particularly the snowfall. I'll show you some pictures. Actually, do we have some video here of it? Oh, yeah. So check this out. I'm going to show you this. So I want to show you what the house looked like in the evening when the state police were there searching. Check this out.
His body discovered.
Look at that. Okay, check this out. I'll make this bigger.
Pile of snow outside the Canton.
Look at this shit. So this right here, this is the area where his body was found. Now, when she found him at 6 a.m., there was a grand total of 2 inches of snow. Now we see it at 6 p.m., and there's like a foot of snow. So the police, when there was almost no snow in the area and they used a snowblower, they didn't find anything. All they found was some blood droplets and some broken glass. That's it. From a cocktail glass. But now, after a full foot of snow has fallen and plows have gone through that street probably 20 times, the CERT team suddenly makes a discovery, as we're going to see, that the Canton police missed somehow.
The Canton home.
See the state police are there?
Fellow officer who hosted a gathering there.
So there's the state police.
There in January of 2022. More than a year.
Okay. So let's go back. Remember that. Remember that that's what it looked like at that time. Very different, is it not? Very different. Okay. Anyway, the time police recovered 3 pieces this time. So on the subsequent time, the police recovered 3 pieces of red and clear plastic from the same area that Sergeant Lank and his colleagues had searched hours earlier and saw no such evidence. Trooper Proctor claimed in his report that the plastic shards were consistent with Reed's taillight. And by the way, they still have not received. They've been looking for this. They've been asking for the taillight evidence for a year now, and they're just not giving it to him. They're just not giving it to him, which is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. So it goes on. So obviously, I think we can all, I mean, you don't have to be a genius to figure out what happened here. In case you can't figure it out, Michael Proctor, this is my theory. I think it's a good one. I think it's the one that makes the most sense. Michael Proctor took her car at 4:12 p.m. and allegedly took it right to the Canton Police Department. But they go by the Middleborough State Police Headquarters on the way from Dighton to Canton. And there's a lot of places where he could have taken it and smashy. Miraculously, he gets to at 5:30, the search team gets there, and what do you find? Oh, how about that? How did they miss this? How'd they miss this? A full foot of snow is fallen during that time, and what do you know? Look what we found. Taillight. We missed it before. The Keystone Cops, the Canton Keystone Cops missed it, but the state police were all over it. And the state police trooper who is in charge of the entire investigation and who has sole possession of her car for an hour and 18 minutes happens to be good friends with all of the people who would otherwise be the prime suspects in this case. But other than that, this is a perfectly non-shady case. Okay, sure thing. Significantly, Trooper Proctor's timeline of events, as set forth in his sworn affidavit in support of the geofence warrant, is provably false. Security footage taken from Miss Reed's parents' residence establishes that the black SUV was taken at 4:12, not 5:30. The altered timeline means that both the Lexus SUV as well as Trooper Proctor would be unaccounted for during the entirety of that 1 hour and 18-minute gap. Where were you during that time, Trooper Proctor? From 4:12 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. Thus, Trooper Proctor and certain personnel from the Canton Police Department, where the vehicle was towed, had unfettered access not only to Miss Reed's vehicle and its taillight, but to the crime scene as well, for more than an hour before the CERT team executed its search for that scene. So all Proctor had to do was do a little smashy. And what do we got here? If you're going to message me during the show, make sure it's worthwhile, because I don't need alerts for stupid shit. Oh, okay, is this good? Let's see what this is. Oh, for fuck's sake. This is today? Get the fuck out of there. Oh. So I got to block out this face because these kids are like 10 or 12. But wait till you see this. Hold on. I just got this sent to me. I mean, talk about insensitive. Give me 1 sec. This is John O'Keefe's nephew plays Little League. So he was there today. And this is going to make you puke when you see this. Stand by. Stand by. I just have to redact the faces because I'm not showing 12-year-olds. It's going to take 1 second. It'll be worth it, I swear. I accept. I accept. We're going to color these kids' faces in so you can't see their faces. Okay, get rid of that. All right. Can't see them over here, so we'll use that one. Okay. So I'm going to show you 2 pictures here from today. Move phone away from microphone. Is it that bad? Is it really that bad? I think it can't be that. It's got to be this. It's got to be some cord or some shit. Can I, like, fuck with the volume a little bit? I turn this down. I don't know if that helps at all. All right. So this is let me read this to you. This is this is John O'Keefe's nephew. And Rene Roberts posted these images on social media today on Facebook. Her son is on the left. Her son is wearing a thing that says D&E Pizza. D&E Pizza is owned by Chris Albert, the father of Colin Albert, the selectman, who is, of course, down there today. So there's that. And on the right is John O'Keefe's nephew with her son. And her son, wait till you see who sponsored her son's team. And she actually like took a fucking picture of this and decided she was going to post this on Facebook and that this would be a good idea. So that's O'Keefe's nephew on the right. Waterfall Bar and Grill. That's the fucking bar. That's the bar they all came from on the night that he was killed. His team is sponsored by the fucking bar. I mean, do these people have no shame? Do these people have no fucking shame? Do they have no sense of decency? Is this not the most, this is, I'm not alone in this world. This is fucking disgusting, right? That's his uncle was murdered shortly after leaving that bar. And all of the murderers were at that bar, getting drunk at that bar. And the other one is wearing a shirt. His team is sponsored by D&E Pizza, Chris Albert's stupid pizza shop. And she apparently changed her name, Rene Roberts. Fuck Rene Roberts, by the way. I used to think she was like innocent, whatever. Rene Roberts, if you're listening, you're a huge cunt. And I think you're just as bad as all of them. You really are. You're fucking trash. You're trash. I thought you were a decent person at first. Maybe you got caught up in this. You're clearly just more white trash. And that's all these fucking people are. Don't let the fact that they live in Canton fool you. These are dirty, dirty people. All of them. Meg Kennedy, the McCabes, the Alberts, Rene Roberts. These are dirty, trashy people. Like what they're doing right now, if they just because they look prim and proper and they live in Canton, don't let that fool you. This is white trash. This is what this is. White trash. Garbage fucking human beings. Garbage human beings. Yeah. He's wearing a jersey, you know, with his uncle's murderers on it, basically. So, it says if she, a lot of people are apparently pissed that she did this, I guess. That John O'Keefe's, yeah. Oh, wait, John O'Keefe's nephew is in the blue. Is that right? Oh, that's even worse. John O'Keefe's nephew's in the blue. That's, oh, God. That's even worse. D&E, because D&E, at least Waterfall Bar and Grill, they didn't kill him. But the people who own D&E Pizza, their family did. That is worse. That's even worse. Holy shit. That is insane. I cannot fucking believe that. I can't believe the brazenness of it all. Can you believe that? Wow. I mean, I can because it's Canton. Again, this is the kind of shit you do when Turtleboy isn't in your, you know. Rene Roberts is a fucking cunt. Always has been. He had Patrick kicked out of the town pool the summer after his parents died because he didn't pay $5. Rene Roberts, if you're watching, you're a fucking cunt. Burn in hell cunt. That's what I think of you. God, you're fucking evil. God, these people are, I've never seen such fucking evilness. Wow. And I got a question for all these fucking assholes. What are you going to do when the indictments start coming in? Because they are going to come. Grand juries are moving on this one. They're all being brought in. I don't know who's going to get arrested, and I don't know who's getting charged with what. But it ain't going to be Karen Reed. That's for goddamn sure. Her charges will be dropped, and your people are all going to get new charges. Then what are you going to do? Then what are you going to do? You still going to stick with them? Are you going to beg for mercy and say, I'm so sorry? Because yeah, this is your chance. If you leave after the indictments, you don't get to switch teams after the indictments. The time to do the right thing is now, and you're failing. I can't believe that picture we just saw, guys. I can't believe that shit. Holy fucking shit. That is insane. Insane. So let's go back to these documents I was reading here. All right, so make this bigger. And it's just so weird because we're all out here like in normal world watching this, and we're all like, obviously this is a travesty of justice. Obviously these people are just the trashiest, shadiest people in the world. But the people in Canton don't seem to think that. Like, it's like not all the people in Canton, obviously, but like these people are just living in a completely different world than the rest of us. Like, it's crazy. Hold on. Anyway, yeah, they're going to get the justice. Let's go back to reading this document because I'm getting somewhere with this. So, let's see. Thereafter, that search miraculously revealed, for the first time, red and white pieces of plastic found on the ground consistent with the taillight of Miss Reed's vehicle, thereby establishing the only physical evidence against Miss Reed in the entire case. The only evidence. The investigation of the crime scene, however, did not stop there. According to Detective Michael Lank's testimony before the grand jury on February 4th, Ken Berkowitz, the chief of Canton Police Department, purportedly drove by the Fairview residence on a whim and saw from his moving vehicle more red plastic, consistent with the taillight of Miss Reed's vehicle. It is worth recalling the scene. This was a scene that had been searched, researched, and searched again by no fewer than 3 sets of police officials, yet Chief Berkowitz claimed he glanced from his moving car while driving, saw a tiny shard of lens of material on the ground many yards away at speed, recognized the shard's evidentiary value, and stopped his car to report the finding. Right. And his brother's a cop too. Okay. Anyway, let's get to some more interesting shit about her. Now this confused me a little bit, the geofence stuff, but it's worth talking about because it shows the lengths that what's his name went to cover this up. Hold on, I got text messages crazy coming in right now, and I never know what's going to be good. And it's like who the Everything Canton Facebook group like is not letting any Turtleboy shit go up there. Oh, we're going to talk about the Chris Albert thing. Don't you worry about that, because wait till you hear what Chris Albert's been up to in the last 24 hours and his fat fuck attorney. All right. So prior to the indictment on April 28th, the undersigned counsel, that would be Yannetti, I believe, and the court allowed the defendant's motion for preservation of Google geofence data in Stoughton District Court. In that motion, the defendant requested preservation of so-called geofence data stored by Google, correspondence to the location of the alleged crimes for the first time period of January 28th and January 29th. In the same motion, the defendant noted that it provides that a provider of wire, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So they asked for this geofence data on all of the phones, I believe, of anyone who was in that area, that Google would have it. But they forgot that not everyone owns a Google device. Some people own iPhones. Trooper Proctor on May 13th forwarded a preservation request to Google's Law Enforcement Compliance Department. In that request, he notes, the preservation request applies to the following address: 34 Fairview Road, Canton, Mass, on January 28th through and including January 29th. The request specifies that it applies to any location data currently stored in relation to any devices within the set parameter, account information to include all account owner user identification, to include all information listed in your personal info. So they're going to find out everyone who was in that house that night. To include all apps downloaded from the Google Play Store to any devices within the set parameter. On May 16th, Google acknowledged receipt of the initial preservation request. On May 18th, after realizing that as it was worded, it would exclude applications containing location data that had been downloaded from the Apple Store. So they realized they asked for all this shit from Google, but if they got it back, it would not give them, anyone who had an iPhone, it would not give them that information about who was there. See what I'm saying? And so the defense adds an addendum to this. And they said that they want, they emailed ADA Adam Lally requesting modification of the preservation request to include all smartphones. ADA Lally responded to it the next day with a modified preservation request designed to include the iPhone. So Adam Lally, and they're like, yeah, no problem. Because why wouldn't they? They're, yeah, you want it? We'll give it to you. We're not hiding anything. To date, defense counsel has received neither the automated acknowledgement from Google that would indicate that his amended preservation request was ever received, nor a confirmation from Google noting its intent to comply with the amended request. So he never sent it to Google. Proctor never sent the request to Google. On June 7th, undersigned counsel demanded acknowledgement of Google's receipt that amended preservation request. which was to include all smartphones rather than merely phones running Google's Android operating system. ADA Lally responded to this request on May 16th, preservation request acknowledgement. An acknowledgement made 3 days before the amended preservation request had supposedly been forwarded to Google by Trooper Proctor. In other words, the acknowledgement forwarded by ADA Lally was a response to the initial preservation sent by Trooper Proctor, which failed to include iPhones. And I bet your bottom dollar that some of those people had fucking iPhones, and that they were trying to hide the shit that's on the iPhones. That's what they're trying to hide here. Undersigned counsel noted in an email to Lally that Trooper Proctor's preservation requests were suspiciously lacking and requested that any data received from Google in response to the geofence warrant be forwarded to the office of the district attorney with receipt of the same by Trooper Proctor. Despite the undersigned counsel's request that geofence data from January 28th and 29th be preserved, to the geofence warrant application submitted by Trooper Proctor specifies the narrow time period of 12 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. on January 29th, only 6.5 hours rather than the requested 48 hours. So if any, if people were doing things after that, or sending messages from 34 Fairview before or after that, none of that would come up. So Proctor is specifically looking to cover, not doing what he has been asked to do. He's taking liberties on his own. Finally, the geofence warrant application submitted by Trooper Proctor to Google specifies the protocol for responsive production. Law enforcement shall review the internet, I don't know how to pronounce that, list to remove devices that are not relevant to the investigation. For example, devices that were not in the location, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Trooper Proctor further indicates that any records produced in response to the geofence warrant be provided directly to him via email or digital storage. Put simply, Trooper Proctor will singularly make any and all determinations of relevancy regarding the data produced by Google, as the data will be produced directly to him and no one else. Unbelievable. And he's good friends with all of them. Given Trooper's close familial relationships with the prosecution's witnesses and potential suspects, his insistence on being the sole gatekeeper raises serious questions as to the objectivity of the instant investigation and unquestionably creates an appearance of impropriety. So there's that. Again, I feel like I've briefly mentioned all this stuff, but it's important to go over it all just to see how fucking crazy it is. No? How crazy. And I'm also getting more messages here. They're saying, let's see. Oh God, there's more. Carrie's sister-in-law, Carrie Roberts' sister-in-law, Rene, sold Brian Albert's house. Of course she did. Her name is Rene Roberts. Let's give her a call. Let's give her a call right now. I'm going to give her a call. We're calling her right now. Hey, Rene. Because he sold that house for $50,000 less than it was worth. They put it on the market for $950,000. Hold on. Oh, I'll get to that in 1 sec. All right, hold on 1 sec. We're going to make a call here. Let's see.
You have reached Rene Roberts with William Marybeth. Please leave a message and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options.
Hi, Rene. My name is Aidan Kearney. I'm an award-winning journalist from Turtleboy Daily News. I'm calling you because I realized that you were the realtor that recently helped Rene Roberts suddenly out of nowhere decide to sell his home for $50,000 less than what it initially went up for. I also found out that you are apparently Carrie Roberts' sister-in-law, and I'm wondering if that factored into that, or if she told you any information about why he suddenly decided to sell his house like that. I also would like to know, during private showings, we did speak to some people who saw the house during private showings, and they were specifically told that they were not allowed to take photographs. Is that standard when you do a showing? Do you not let people take photographs, or is it just in homes where you know that a murder was previously committed? So if you could give me a call back, I'd love to talk some more about Rene Roberts and how he decided to sell his home and why he decided to sell it for $50,000 less than it was initially on the market for. Rene Albert? Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we'll talk soon. Give me a call back when you get this. I'd love to know more about that. Thanks. Bye. Okay. I said Rene Roberts. God damn it. I always do that. She'll know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I'm like, and that's the other, I've thought about that too. Like, I think you have to disclose that, right? If somebody gets killed in your house, I think you're like required to disclose that. So, because that would bring your property value down, would it not? Like somebody done got killed here. But apparently not in this area. Not in this area. Okay. We got more. I got more shit here. So you want to hear another twist of this? Get ready for this. All right, give me one moment to bring these screenshots up. Just a moment. And I'll read some turtle chats in a minute too. You don't need to disclose it in mass, people are saying. Okay. Okay. I'm going to bring up this image here. Give me 1 sec to bring up a couple images, actually. I'm going to talk about one of John O'Keefe's ex-girlfriends. Found out some interesting information here. Okay. So Google the name for me right now, if you will. Marybeth Frisoli. It's spelled R. I'll bring it up on my end, actually. We'll Google it over here. Oh, Frisoli. Okay. So first thing that comes up is woman gets 6 months in jail in Quincy crash that cost motorcyclist a leg. Now this is interesting because Marybeth Frisoli, she was, I think she was a court officer. It says Marybeth Frisoli of Quincy cries as Norfolk Superior Court Judge Janet Sanders announces her sentence, including 6 months in prison this morning. A jury found her guilty of drunk driving and negligence causing serious bodily injury. She struck motorcyclist Mark Cronin of Weymouth in a crash that took off his left leg in the early morning of August 23, 2008 on the Neponset River Bridge, driving her car north in the southbound lane and causing the crash. Okay. So I bring this up and she ends up, it's actually a really touching story. The guy whose leg she took off forgives her in court and they hug. And so that was touching. And so she does 6 months in jail. Well, her boyfriend at the time was John O'Keefe. And I bring this up because her lawyer at the time, and so John O'Keefe actually visited her in prison and stayed friends with her. Well, how ironic is that? Right? That this is now two girlfriends now who have been charged with using a car while driving drunk to hurt someone, right? It gets crazier. her attorney in this case. Bring this. I got an image over here. One sec. Actually, I'll probably say her. I'll probably say right in the article, wouldn't it? Let me bring that back up then. Okay. She could have faced up to 10 years. The previous afternoon, the man she hit, Mark, stepped from the courthouse doors, his stride unmistakable, his prosthetic leg hidden in his thin blue jeans. Jurors retired to delivery, blah, blah, blah. He sounded sympathetic towards the woman facing jail time. So that's nice. I mean, that's nice of him to be that, whatever. I probably wouldn't be. He actually blames the bar more that overserved her. That was sad, Cronin said on the courthouse steps. There are no winners here. It was out of my hands. The jury of her peers found her guilty. She declined to comment as she left the courthouse with her boyfriend and relatives. That's John O'Keefe. In the eyes of the jury, 10 men and women, they fixed on her limped, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Defense attorney Daniel O'Malley asked that Cronin and other potential witnesses be kept out of the courtroom during testimony. So Daniel O'Malley was like a very well-known defense attorney for DUIs. He was the kind of guy you wanted to call if you got in a DUI. Anyone want to guess? Take a wild guess what Daniel O'Malley does today for work. What do you think attorney? I mean, you could Google it. Take a wild guess what attorney. Let's see who can find the answer to this one first. What does attorney Daniel O'Malley do for work now? There it is. He's a judge in Stoughton. Who was arraigned and charged with manslaughter in Stoughton? Oh, I know. Karen Reed. Yeah, Karen Reed was. And all this evidence against Karen Reed was allowed into court by this judge. The same judge who used to be a DUI attorney who represented John O'Keefe's girlfriend and got her just 6 months in jail on when she easily could have gotten 10. So he's obviously good at his job and knows John O'Keefe. So the judge knows John O'Keefe. Now, I've spoken to some lawyers about this today, and they think there's nothing. They're like, this is not like, it's a crazy coincidence, but it's not something that he would be required to recuse himself of. But it is just fucking crazy. Now, I will say this too. Marybeth Frisoli has been an attendee several times at court hearings for Karen Reed. She sits on the prosecution side. So that's why I say fuck her. Fuck her. You, Marybeth Frisoli, got the gift of a lifetime. You got 6 months in jail when you could have gotten 10 years in jail. You took a guy's fucking leg off. You happen to take a guy's leg off who was like the nicest, most forgiving guy in the world. He's Mark Cronin. But you are still obviously close. And let me show you this. Check this out. I would like to point out this too. John O'Keefe's Facebook page is still active. I went on it today and I saw the green dot on it. It means somebody's logged into the account right now, which is like, okay, I'm like thinking in there are probably so many messages. Can't call during the show. I can't answer the phone during shows. There are probably so many messages in there that John O'Keefe has. I'll read your text when you send them. There are probably so many messages there that John O'Keefe has that are maybe about his relationship with Karen Reed. Maybe he said he wanted to marry her to one of his buddies. Maybe he disclosed, you know what I mean? We don't know. Somebody has access to that account. It's not a tribute page. I'll go to it right now. Go to it right now. Like, I did not realize John O'Keefe's fucking Facebook page is up. What? I found this out today. John O'Keefe. I have one mutual friend with him. So it's not even designated as a tribute page. But when you go on there, right, you see that Marybeth Frisoli is still friends with John. And that's why she's still going to his court appearance. Look at this post that she made on the day that Karen Reed was charged with manslaughter. John, so sorry this happened, my friend. I know, like many others, I am still in shock. I will never, ever forget how loyal you were to me. How loyal you were to me. And my entire family throughout the most difficult time in my life. The time I was charged with drunk driving and taking a dude's leg off. You were always there for everyone. Those who you knew that about you. A gentleman. That is how we stayed friends. Almost 20 plus years. You touched so many lives. I'll never forget how excited you were when all your nieces and nephews were born. Ecstatic. You loved your family and your friends more than anything and would do anything for them. This is a complete tragedy for the entire O'Keefe family. Sending my deepest sympathy and love to an amazing family. You will be missed, my friend, until we meet again. This is the woman now who understandably wants justice for John O'Keefe. But I would like to point out that she was granted mercy after taking a dude's leg off while driving drunk. And now she has the nerve to sit there in a courtroom demanding full justice and full whatever for Karen Reed for allegedly doing something that was not like similar to what she did, except Karen Reed didn't actually do that. It's all made up. Like, that is crazy, man. Talk about small world. That's all this is. And that's some small world shit. So it's not like nothing technically unethical has happened. But yeah, I mean, now I think they probably would have access to, I'm getting messages right now. Let me read some messages. Yeah, I'll show you right now. I'll show you this picture right now. Save image. Send it on Facebook. Okay. Let me pull this image up just to show you that, like, proof of this. I still can't believe the picture from Little League. I still can't believe that shit. Oh, good Lord. The volume's so low tonight? Is it that bad? So check this out. Notice the, see the green dot up there? And it's timestamped. That green dot means someone was on it today at 1:06 p.m. Someone was on there. So you tell me what's going on here with that. Like, you know, his phone is technically in evidence. So that means that, I mean, how did somebody get onto his account? If his phone is in evidence, that means that either somebody in the police department is playing around with that phone. Like, you're not even supposed to have access to any of the apps. Who's on his phone? I friend requested John O'Keefe today, and I sent him a message. Did he deny it? They've not read my, I go, who is running this page? They did not read my message. So we'll see. We'll see. I'd like to know who's behind that page. Like who's on there right now doing that? One of the Rizitanos? Who's on there? I don't know. But that should be evidence. Everything in there should be evidence. Anyway, let me read some more messages I'm getting here from people. Let's see. This source thinks that the ATF guy was either hitting on Reed. No, that's silly. The source also said that Colin Albert was on video at the library walking through the parking lot. He thinks that's why the DA is withholding the library video. These are rumors. Don't send me rumors. I don't like fucking rumors. I don't care what your friend thinks. That means nothing to me. The source is also saying that the town is now split in their option of this matter. Many are driving by 34 Fairview and just staring at the home in the front lawn. The source, who wasn't there, doesn't think Colin Albert. It's like, I don't care about thinking. Like thinking what your townie friends think means fucking nothing to me. I like evidence. I like facts. I like things that can be backed up. So if that's what you called me about, that's a waste of my time. Please don't bother me with that. Okay. All right. Got a couple cash apps here I want to read. 7-pounder sends $20, says, for if the dog bit O'Keefe, it proves lies. You're absolutely right about that. Is that poor dog alive? We don't know. Yeah, I got it, 7-pounder. I just read your cash app, okay? Rich R sends $50 and says, for newsflash, Fucci to cook Last Supper for these pieces of shit. Oh, I got more Fucci shit too. I haven't been able to get to it because of this. Okay. Anything else we have here? Somebody just said for fuck's sake to me. I don't know what that means, but all right. Chris Albert. Yeah, his house was sold. See, I don't know. Chris Albert, we went over all his court documents the other day. What was that, Tuesday? We went over all his court documents. He's just a complete delinquent and a deadbeat. So that brings us to our next thing here about Chris Albert getting sued. So let me see here. Did somebody have Chris Albert is going around threatening to sue people. So let me Carrie Roberts also made his badge number her Facebook profile picture today. That's good. Let me give me 1 sec. Oh, and by the way, you know what's so funny too? I'm not even going to show this because I didn't. You want to see Marybeth Frisoli's profile picture? I got to white out the kid's face real quick. I mean, this is not the height of COVID stupidity. I don't know what is. So it says she added her profile picture, staying home, saving lives. Just a reminder, this woman got drunk and chopped a dude's leg off. This is like, these are the people lecturing you about, stay home. You could get a virus and you could infect someone and kill their grandmother. Bitch, maybe you should take your own advice. Stay home and save lives. A dude is missing a leg because you did not take your own advice. You need to stay home and save lives. Your drunk driving ass is a lot more dangerous than goddamn COVID-19. Give me a break. Talk about irony. All right. I need to did anybody get, let me just check my messages real quick to make sure I did not get this. So Chris Albert has been sending, as his fat lawyer, have been threatening people. I don't know why people are so fucking scared. So somebody somebody sends me a message, and I understand people are scared, but you got to stop being scared of these fucking people. All they do is run their fucking mouths and oh, I'm going to go talk to a lawyer. Your lawyer's going to tell you not to talk. So don't listen to them. But I'll show you. She sent me page 2 of this. 15 people apparently got these in the mail today and were served with them. All right, let me, I got it in my email here. One sec. All right, let me read this to you. So, hi, Turtleboy. Chris Albert had more than a dozen Canton residents served with legal papers this afternoon. I'm going to bring it up on my phone so I can read it smaller. All right, so let me read this to you. Hi, Turtleboy. Chris Albert had more than half a dozen Canton residents served with legal papers this afternoon by a flea-bitten process server who looked like he needed a bath and a shave. They were bullying letters threatening to sue them if they didn't remove Facebook posts that Albert didn't like by May 1st. Can you believe this cocksucker? Can you believe that? Keep in mind, this is the same asshole who messaged me when he knew I was writing a blog and thought he could intimidate me into taking the blog. No, first of all, the 15 people who got this letter from Chris Albert, you don't have to worry. I understand it. You're probably not used to getting letters like this. I get it. I get letters like this all the time. And my first time, I was a little bit nervous too. I get it. This is a fucking joke. You don't have to take this seriously. You can go to your lawyer and you know what your lawyer is going to say? Don't talk. You don't have to listen to them either. Lawyers work. This is a free fucking country and you can say whatever the fuck you want to say, especially about elected officials. You don't have to worry about a goddamn thing. I'm taking from someone who's currently being sued by a Boston city councilor, and I have a deposition for Monday, and I am not backing down at all. I'm saying more shit about her. Because the bar for a libel in this country is so high, and it's even higher with elected officials. Elected officials cannot fucking sue you for libel. They could try, they're going to lose. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say about elected officials. Now, I don't know what this person said exactly, but this cocksucker is apparently going around. 15 people got this letter. It goes on saying, this is a Canton elected official talking to voters. That's another thing. Keep in mind. Like, dude, you represent these people. They can say whatever the fuck they want about you. Who do you think you are? Like that. This goes back to this cockiness of like, we run this town. We'll get our lawyers on you. Shut the fuck up. You run a pizza shop, bitch. Go make me a fucking chicken parm and shut the fuck up, Chris Albert. No one needs to hear from you about anything. Go shine that head of yours and get back in the kitchen and make me some mozzarella sticks. Stop sending letters out. No one's impressed by your bullshit. You have as much legal weight as Mike Fucci. God, these fucking morons. He goes on to say, this is a Canton elected official talking to voters. The letters contain statements like, quote, you have defamed Mr. Albert. Some of the letters also said, my client understands that you may be My client understands that you may be upset because your preferred candidate for select person was not reelected. That, however, does not give you the license to post lies and ad hominem attacks against him. First of all, motherfucker, yes, it does. First, to assume that the only people that would have a problem with the fact that you're coming from a murdering family of assholes and thugs are the people who didn't vote for you is ridiculous in and of itself. Secondly, of course you can lie about elected officials. Like, this is America. Picture of you can't make up lies about Donald Trump. He could be, no one will be able to talk. CNN would be out of business. Of course you can lie about elected officials. They're elected officials. How many people lie about Death Santis or whatever? People lie about elected officials all the time. It's part of politics. But either way, and like the bar would have to be like malicious. Like I would like to see what these people said to get this. It would have to be with malice. Do you understand how high the bar for malice is in this state and in this country? I don't think Chris Albert even knows what any of these words mean because, again, his job is to make the mozzarella sticks. Get in the key. Go make me a steak and cheese, bitch. That's what you are. So, yeah. Anyway, it goes on to say, my client understands that you may be upset because your preferred candidate for select person was not reelected. That does not give you the license to lie and post ad hominem attacks against them. Ad hominem? You can absolutely see ad hominem. That refers to Lisa Lopez, who lost by 120 votes. She has a degree from Yale Law School and lots of experience, and Albert didn't finish high school and had zero, is that true? And had zero experience serving on any Canton board. He showed up on election day and didn't know how to vote or what precinct is, an election worker said. I'd like to go through Chris Albert's voting records to see how many elections he voted in, because it is interesting that all of a sudden this guy wants to get on the select board now that his son got in a, situation. The pizza guy all of a sudden wants to run the goddamn town finances. The guy who, by the way, has like 1 million defaults against him in court. We're going to do a whole blog on Chris Albert and his, money problems. Go make me a steak and cheese, bitch. Shut up. The Facebook posts that he demanded must be taken down were not lies. For example, some referred to Albert pleading guilty in 1995 to vehicular homicide and leaving the scene of a fatal accident and getting a sentence of 2 years with 6 months to be served in jail, plus 2 years probation, a good deal for leaving a young man bleeding on the side of Route 95 and taking off and being on the lam for 30 hours. That's just a fact. It happened. You can't sue someone for saying the truth. But he thinks he can silence people with bullying, and you're absolutely right. Now notice that at no point did he try to do this to me. Like, how come I didn't get a letter? I said much worse than that about you, dude. And I certainly implied a lot more than that about you and your stupid son. Your punk hardo son with the permanent middle finger, fucking tough guy, Colin Albert. Played middle linebacker for Bridgewater State, freshman, walk on, tough guy, toughest guy, third toughest guy in Canton. That's what you're proud of. How come he's not suing me? Because he knows better. He knows what I'll do with that. I'm dying for a letter. Please send me one. Please send me one. See this fat man picture below. So I got a picture of the guy, the server that came. Check this guy out. This fat piece of shit on a Ring video. This is the guy he sends to serve them. This is the Lardo. Picture this guy showing up at your door with the letters. He sent this fatso to 15 people's homes. 15 people's homes. Okay, tough guy. And apparently he was at the meeting too. He was this guy. I don't know if this is his lawyer or the server or whatever. But that guy right there. I mean, look at this fatso. That guy shows up. Guys, I understand, like you're probably, oh no, I'm so scared. I got to talk to my, you don't have to worry about it. It's a joke. You don't have to take it seriously. Just laugh at it. You should write him a letter demanding that he give you $50 million or something. It would be just as ridiculous. He goes on to say, see this fat man picture below in the yellow tie taking up 2 seats at this week's select board meeting? That's the scumbag attorney who sent the uber dumb threatening letters. It's like he doesn't know what libel is. I mean, I get them all the time. His name, remember I got one like 4 months ago that I read at Hooters when I was drunk or buzzed. I read that one at, I got a demand letter from some weirdo that I blogged about, and we called her on the live show while we were watching the Patriots lose again or something. Anyway, his name is Glenn Hannigan. He has an AOL email address that kind of sums him up. Here's his profile. He saved bingo, apparently, according to that profile. And of course, he lives in Canton. So let me bring up this guy's website. I mean, it's like, dude, this is like the kind of website that you make in like computer design 101. Like, dude, what kind of website is this? Should we call him? Oh, his office there. That's just an office phone number. I wish I had his personal. Like, what is this on the homepage? Attorney profile. He's retired assistant clerk magistrate. 51 years. Made to the bar. Took on the archdiocese. Homepage. Oh my God. It's just a picture of him with Louis T on it. That's it. That's the whole, and like some freaking clip art up here of law shit. You probably Googled law. Areas of practice. Pretty much everything. I don't see any deformation on here. Criminal law, district, superior, and federal. Yeah, that's pretty much all of them. He's got dog bites. So maybe John O'Keefe's family can sue him because he was covered in dog bites. Slip and falls. This guy's like this guy's an ambulance chaser or some shit. Oh my God. Yeah, like what is this website? Oh, this is beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Contact info. It's the same as up here. It's the same as up here. Now accepting credit card payment. Oh, it's too good. It's too priceless. So the email goes on to read. I'm going to read some more of this email. It says, he scared a lot of innocent family people in Canton this afternoon with his bullying letters. Here's an example of the way they start. Please be advised that I have been retained by Chris Albert to investigate and take legal action against you for your statements for several unwarranted and defamatory statements published by you on Facebook. They end with, if you do not comply with the above demands by May 1st, we'll have no choice but to file a lawsuit against you. In this lawsuit, we will pursue both damages and attorney's fees and costs incurred by my client. This letter is your one and only chance to resolve the matter prior to the filing of the lawsuit. So I understand that's scary. If you got one of these, it's not. He ain't going to do shit. It's not going to be any lawsuit. Nothing's going to happen. If they do, it's going to go nowhere. Any moron taken from someone who gets sued all the time by morons like Chris Albert. That's what he is. I mean, Chris Albert should be in the kitchen right now making me a steak and cheese. That don't forget, we're dealing with pudding for brains, dumb fucking towny people here. Like that's what we're dealing with. My client reserves any and all right to pursue. That's some of the, again, this is for Facebook posts that are true statements or opinions sent by an elected town official to Canton voters who have written things he doesn't like. The fat Goomba attorney doesn't know that you can't sue someone for saying, I mean, you can sue someone for anything. Doesn't matter. It doesn't need, you're just not going to win. What a dumb asshole. This stupid man who should be disbarred for harassing honest people on behalf of his criminal client doesn't know libel law. A lot of lawyers don't. Chris Albert's message to Canton, don't dare say a bad word about me. And even if it's true, or I'll take your house and your retirement savings away from you. And a lot of people are scared that. I mean, it's so true. It's just like they are just proving us right by the day. Are they not? I cannot wait to see these people burn for this shit. And again, this was a picture we have of the end of that email right there. I said, if you do not comply, okay. It's your one and only chance. Okay, Glenn, calm down, pal. Maybe I'll see you too. Okay. Let me read a couple more donos here real quick. That we got. A few of them. All right, let me read these off. Mark sends $25 and says, sorry. I hope Karen Reed gives you an interview after all the time and hard work. I think media is picking up more because of you. I think that I like the second statement there a lot. I have seen more. Like I showed you a CBS article and an NBC article and a Boston 25 News article. And granted, they're not as thorough as I am about this, but it's good that we're getting the ball rolling here. And because they're obviously, it's very clear that Ted Daniels saw my reporting and was like, I need to get on this. And whatever, they're going to take the credit. At this point, we all know who broke the story, and I appreciate all the turtle emojis, and let's keep that going. But it is a good thing either way, because let's keep our eye on the prize here. The eye on the prize is that, and then this woman is facing life in prison for something she had nothing to do with, and the real murderers are walking the streets like nothing happened, and they run the whole freaking town. Yeah, can we get 1,000 thumbs up? I don't know if we've ever got 1,000 thumbs up on a live video before. How many thumbs up we got right now? 355. We got, how many people are watching right now? We got 1,559 in chat. Can we get that to 1,000? We need 600 something more people to hit that like button. Keep the thumbs up. Give us a comment afterwards if you haven't done so already. Let me keep reading these donos in the meantime. Jay sends 25, says, I met Karen when she worked at near South Station. Salt of the earth, nice. Unfortunately, she crossed paths with Casey Anthony north of Florida. You'd never see this award-winning journalism from fraudster Andy No. Who's Casey Anthony north of Florida? But you never see this. Yeah, you're right. Andy No. Well, you might see it from Andy No in a couple months. So I appreciate that. Julia sends $10, says, I support Karen Reed. Keep up the great work, Turtleboy. This is real journalism. Thank you very much, Julia. We'll do just that. Peter sends 10 and says, you've been going full throttle since day one. It's very much appreciated. Thanks, Doc. My pleasure, Peter. I really appreciate that, sir. Jen sends $25 and says, best investigative work around. Keep it up. I appreciate that, Jen. I'm going to do just that. We're just getting started here. Lauren D. Laguna sends $10 and says, you are awesome, Aidan. Great show. Well, thank you, Lauren D. Laguna. Right back at you. Right back at you. I met Karen, Jason says, for $25. I met Karen when she worked near South Station. Oh, this already sent. Okay, cool. Got that one. Apparently he sent that a few times. 4 times. Okay, thank you. So again, if anyone else would like to donate, the click is at the top. I'm getting another message here, forwarding verbatim from a reliable source regarding the Proctor handling of the towing of Karen's car. Proctor should have had Mass State Police crime scene come to North Dighton to process and at least photograph that vehicle, not tow the first, then process. And that is interesting. Like, he didn't take pictures of the car at North Dighton. He didn't do that. Proctor, at the very least, should have photographed the broken taillight in the driveway. Also, for the evidence chain of custody, the state police cruiser would have had to follow that tow truck from North Dighton to Canton police, but they didn't. He just kind of called up the tow truck and probably brought it to where he told them to bring it, didn't they? Interesting. Read my Twitter. How do I read my Twitter? You know, Berkowitz was on medical leave when he found the pieces of the taillight a few days later. Oh, you know, that's what he does. That's what he does. He just, in his free time, when he's not on the clock, he goes around solving murders. I mean, he's a great chief. You want to see this article about the chief too? Check this out. Look at this sellout. For all the cop people out there, this guy's a hack. He bowed. He took a knee here, basically, for BLM. How Ferguson changed my job as police chief. We take our marching orders from the citizens we serve. So we need to be flexible, innovative, and fearless enough to change. So you serve marching orders from the citizens we serve. Well, I guess he's right. Brian Albert's a citizen he serves, and Karen Reed's not. So he serves him. So he went to the International Association of Chiefs of Police conference and began to ponder how policing has changed. So he bought into this whole BLM shit about how he needs to, do better and blah, 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 working to better connect with citizens. And then what does he do? What does he do once he becomes police chief? Oh, yeah, he messages reporters and tells them to take down tweets that mention the fact that there's a dead body at Brian Albert's house. Oh, yeah. Besides that, he's totally about transparency. What else we got here? More messages. Chris sold his house on December 21st. Of this past December 21st? They're all selling their homes. They're all selling. Weird. He moved right next door to the library with his wife, Julie, and Colin. So was that before the murder? So he was no longer... Was that after? So that was before John died. So it was December 21st, 2021 that he moved. That would be interesting. That would definitely go to the theory that he's on tape there at the library. Lisa Jefferson sends $10, says, explain that you're banned and why money. $10 for explaining that you're... Yeah, I mean, so we're basically banned from everything because trolls people don't like our reporting. And they do everything to silence me. And they thought, like, okay, we'll take away his ability to make money. So we'll get him banned from PayPal. I've been banned from PayPal since December of 2020. And I called PayPal and I'm like, why am I banned? And they go, we can't tell you because if we tell you, then you can make a new PayPal account and then you can avoid doing the thing that got you banned. And I'm like, so you don't want me, you're not going to tell me why I'm banned because I might follow the rules. That's literally why I'm banned from PayPal. They're afraid I'll follow the rules. So I can't use PayPal. When you get banned from PayPal, you're also banned from Venmo because they own Venmo. So those two are gone. So I have to use Cash App, which is actually awesome. I thought it'd be ghetto, but Cash App, I'm telling you, Cash App's dope. Highly recommend Cash App. And we're also banned. So we use Stripe now for the Donos because we're banned from using, obviously, the super chat function on here. So we just use Stripe and Google takes 40% of the Donos on YouTube. They got none of it now. Stripe takes like 1% or 2% or whatever. So I get the rest. So that's cool. So that, I mean, every attempt to silence me has backfired and has just made us stronger. So there's that. Okay. Should I do the freestyle? Basically, exactly. Like you're donating towards independent journalism when you do this. You're donating towards free speech, the cause, and keeping this train going. Should we do the freestyle though? I'll read a couple more before we do that. A couple more donos. President Trump sends $5. Says that's gay. Minimum turtle chat is $5. Great content, by the way. I appreciate that, sir. Victoria sends $50. Says you're doing some kick-ass reporting, Aidan, and you crack me up. Total inspiration watching you bring it to these assholes. Well, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that. And I think I need to bring a little freestyle, don't I? So let's do this. Give me one sec. And for those of you unfamiliar, just the thing here, secret. It's not actually a freestyle. I write down the lyrics ahead of time. So, and nor am I an actual serious rapper pursuing some sort of career in rap. This is all just fun. Okay. So just want to get that out there. Hold on. All right. First, we need to make sure I got to bring up my the right screen because we got to do a mic check and make sure this works out okay. All right, let me see. Can you hear me? If I rap like this, what? Come on, Can you hear me now? Does it work? Can you hear the music? Should I turn it up or down? What you want, It's okay. Is this okay? You guys, that work? Do it. Here we go. Mic check, mic check. Time for some new shit. Take a little trip to Canton, Massachusetts. Body of Dono keep playing on the ground. House full of people, but no one heard a sound. Cops solved the case at record speed. All the fingerprints was at Kearney. No one got questioned, no one had to sit. Narrative was that she's a crazy bitch. Lacking it, the cops said they got her. Put her in club charge with manslaughter. All these family bitches, they was mad petty when they saw the filing from David Yannetti. Norfolk DA making up excuses. They don't want the public to know what the truth is. Hillary is a winner like Tom Brady. Everyone in the house acting all shady. Ryan Albert is a piece of shit. Never seen a crime that the dude won't commit. Married to a lady who goes by Nicole. Keep her fucking mouth shut is her only role. Quarterback of the cover-up. Not feeling good. Started. Crazy, just look at her eyes. And Matt McCabe knows that she goes with other guys. Her cuck husband knows that she a hoe. Bitches Googling how long to die is snow. Plan was to bury him when the snow was falling. They would do anything to protect Colin. Karen found his body, you could tell it shocked her. Then they made the call to their buddy Mike Proctor. Got there in minutes, cause he lived in Canton. Probably not his first time evidence Clinton. Chris Albert didn't want the blog written. Turtleboy dropped the bombs like the Battle of Britain. Bitch, I ain't the kind of guy you can strong arm. Now get in the kitchen, make me a chicken parm. Had to move the body, but did hustle. Ryan Haskins was there for the muscle. When Karen Reed got indebted, they knew to think. Holla at your boy, Sergeant Lank. Albert break the law with impunity. Berkey says that they pillars of the community. Too much DNA left indoors. Call up your boy Nick, you get new floor. Worked for a while, but you finally got caught. I'm gonna make t-shirts with your mug shot. All these whack bitches thought Karen's going down, but justice coming soon as the turtle came to town. Come on! What? All right, cool. Any poop emojis? Only fire? Cool. All right. Okay. Anyway. Sorry. I'm making too much noise. Hold on. All right. Anyone have any questions they want to talk about? Anything? That ending was so cringy? What was wrong with the ending? You didn't like it? Okay, cool. Oh, we always do. After every freestyle, we do a whole video with the lyrics. So we'll have that ready in a day or two. I usually do these like once a month. I used to do them every week, but it's just a while. It takes long. It's like, but I needed to do one on Canton. I was so hoping you didn't do that. My bad. Sorry. Tough crowd tonight. Tough crowd. All right. Anyone have any questions they want to ask me? Go ahead. Has Victoria tried to contact you? I think she might have. I don't know. My phone got a couple rings tonight from blocked numbers. I'm assuming that's her. She's a freaking psychopath. But if I catch her, it's going to be a charge, Victoria. I wouldn't recommend it. Didn't take the judge long to side against Tonic. No, they didn't. That's true. You know what? I was going to wear a shirt to court Monday, but I can't get it now. It's obviously too late. I just wanted to get HOS long to die in snow, just in quotes. How long to die in snow, and then just attribute that Jennifer McCabe and just wear that shirt to court. How do you think she's going to be in court? Because she's come to court. Oh my God, Jennifer McCabe, please come to court. Oh, you're going to get the lyrics. Don't worry. Please come to court, Jennifer McCabe. I'm begging you. Tonic didn't have a defense. If you didn't hear Tonic's, so Tonic's the guy that called 911 and said that I was suicidal and I was going to drive my car into a tree and sent the police to my house at 2:00 in the morning for a wellness check. That woke up our entire household, including my 7-year-old daughter, who was crying and confused and didn't know what the hell was going on. So I went back and listened to the audio that I played yesterday, and his defense was literally, yeah, that wasn't good. That's all he said. Yeah, that wasn't good. Are you going to sue or encourage others to sue the city for violating the First Amendment? They should. They totally should. It's not from the city police. It's from an attorney representing an elected official. Oh, we publish all the lyrics, and we'll have it. We'll clip the video with the lyrics on it. It's what we always do with every freestyle video. Like I was watching I watched the Kate Peter one. Like that's the best one I've ever done. Is the Kate Peter one? I was rewatching them today. It's too good. I mean, I don't want to like suck my own dick here and praise myself, but that was excellent work, Turtleboy. If I'm being perfectly honest with myself. Like, can we watch that one again? We got to watch this one again. It was like 7 months ago. Here it is. I got it right there. Just to show you how like the lyrics do come up. There it is.
Yes, bitch by the name of Kate Peter. Took so many roads she could fill a 2-liter. Bitch got no talent. That ain't what she about. That's why she had to use Turtleboy to get clout. DCF took the kids because of the abuse. Out here looking like a Caucasian moose. When they took them from you, should have called Saul. Instead you sucked chunky dick and drank fireball. Service plan said just to clean up the house. Instead you lie and say to Andrew Johnson's house. I'm a bad parent. Thanks for the laugh. Cause I got all my kids and you just got half. Went to rehab, started pimping out Jade. Sure beats spending time with Hunter and Wayne. The whole backstory was the how you portrayed. Bob Barker should have took your ass against me. Gucci so dry, better stock up on Lou. Should have been a mom, said you went on YouTube. The anger towards me comes from inferiority. Getting custody was never your priority. Your kids was raised by uncles and aunties. While you got drunk in your crusty candies. Instead of raising money for a fake lawsuit, you could have spent time with your prostitute. Girl, you ain't smart with your pocket thesaurus. Looking like a bad bitch shaped like dinosaurs. Bitch, your only friend is she and Mary. Cause you got beef with the DCF theory. Tried to shut me up cause you know I'm spitting facts. Bitch, I'm out your league, better stick to side rap.
Get him.
Lost custody cause you live like a hoarder. You went too far, now your ass got in order. How the fuck that happened? Kate always wins. Bitch, you got a worse record than the Redskins. Talk shit about me, I know I ain't a saint. But you really hit me cause I'm everything you ain't. Self-made, well-known, breaking all the news. That's where I am cause I put in my dues. I'm a revolutionary, the Worcester Garibaldi. You're so bad with kids that they call you Uvalde. Take a lot of shots, but none of them was landing. Cause the bitch I'm Turtleboy and I still always standing.
Woo! Okay. So that's the Turtleboy freestyle world. Okay. All right. Anyone else have any more questions? Okay, sorry about that. All right. So let me see here. If we, I don't want to miss anyone else's donos. Marianne sends $10 and says, "For send to letter to mass BBO." I appreciate that. Yeah, we do have a merch store. It's right on the website. If you guys ever want to check it out, get whatever you want there. Rick Miranda sends $5. Says, "For Chris Albert watches his wife take BBC." Yikes. No, but I've heard he's just the ultimate scumbag. That he's made. He's like people that worked at D&E. Like he hires all kids and shit. And he's like all Facebook friends with them. It's weird. And he's made inappropriate comments about marrying the wrong sister. And that because Jill Daniels is the sister. I think he wants to bang her. I don't know. You can sue me if you want for Chris. I don't care. So was Tom Beatty called by Jen and Tom's daughter was called. Okay. So here's the story with the Tom Beatty thing. My understanding of it. So Tom Beatty was a guy that was called at 5:30 and then 5:50 and then like 5:56 by Jennifer McCabe while they were looking for John O'Keefe's body. And on the third time, he picks up for 2 seconds. Now, he didn't actually talk to her. It was like one of those things where he's sleeping. And so why was she calling him? A lot of people are like, what's up with this guy? Is he shady? No, he's not. So the town is turned against Tom Beatty. He's not liked there because they have spread and this is what they do to you there. They started spreading rumors that he's because he wasn't team Albert and team McCabe. They started spreading pretty nasty rumors they started spreading nasty rumors that Karen Reed and him were hooking up or something like that, which is nonsense. Obviously, Karen Reed's on friggin' like basically can't go anywhere and is fighting for her life. I don't think she has time for relationships, I'm guessing. And so he's got a daughter that is Colin Albert's age. And on the night, they're friends, they talk to each other. And on the night that this is all going down, Colin Albert and her had spoken about what are you doing tonight? And he was going over to 34 Fairview and she was not. So at 12:31, Colin Albert called Tom Beatty's daughter and she didn't answer, which is weird because kids always talk on the phone. So she calls Tom Beatty's daughter, doesn't answer. And she calls back the next day and he's just like, never mind. So he's probably looking for a ride out of there. That's what people suspected. He was looking for a way out of there because they're like, we got to get this kid out of here. Protect the young, And so why was Jen McCabe calling him then at that time? Well, they suspect that she was kind of covering her bases there. She wanted to know, what does this guy know? That was her primary concern. Remember, she drove by the O'Keefe's house at 2:30 to see if, or 2 o'clock to see if she was still awake during a snowstorm, to see if she was still awake. Is she up? Is she looking for him? That was her primary concern. Remember, her primary concern was how long to die in snow. How much time do I got here? Who knows what? What does Tom McCabe's daughter know? So yeah. That rap is everything. I appreciate how you like it. So what was the coincidence? So I think that in my opinion, what it sounds like she was doing was finding out what she wanted to know what Tom Beatty knew. And she wanted to know what Tom Beatty's daughter knew. Because she knew that Colin Albert had been in contact with this girl. And yes, Carrie Roberts did discuss, again, the most disgusting thing we found out tonight was the picture of John O'Keefe's nephew and his team being sponsored by D&E Pizza. Disgusting. I mean, disgusting. Might be the best freestyle of all time. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Anyone else have any questions? Brian Walsh, and with the Brian Walsh thing, it's like they got the DNA back immediately with him. There was no holdup in the Brian Walsh case at all. Nothing. They got everything. Because Brian Walsh was not protected like the Alberts are. He was an easy person to dislike. I mean, look at him. You got a chance to watch Notre Dame's spring game? No, I did not. Yeah, no, we got the Wake Forest quarterback, so that's pretty cool. He looks good. I appreciate that. Jay Hill likes the freestyles. Thank you. I'm not showing the Traub texts yet, but I have them. I'm going to hold on to those. Don't worry. Oh, I'll be in Canton soon. Don't worry. We're going to be doing some auditing of Canton residents. I want to see how court goes Wednesday. Then we start the auditing. Then the fun part starts. I'll send you the lyrics. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Okay. Anyone else have any comments? Bruins thoughts? I mean, dude. Okay. So, well, obviously Swayman should have played last night. If Swayman had played, then we would have won. This is why I don't like hockey. I mean, this is why it's like people like the regular season is the most useless, stupid thing in hockey. Like home ice means basically nothing in hockey. It's why baseball and hockey are kind of stupid because anyone can win. And I know some people like that aspect of it, but call me old school. I like it when the best teams win. And in football and basketball, that happens more often. Yeah, I know the Bucks lost this year, but Giannis was out for 3 games. So that's kind of a thing, you know. The Bucks would have won that if he was playing. So yeah, it's like I like the NBA and NFL because the Eagles and the Chiefs were the 2 best teams this year. And obviously the Bengals were good and the Bills, nobody would have objected if they got in. But it would be like, it's like, I mean, who is like the sevens? Like the Dolphins. If the Dolphins, the Florida Panthers are the Dolphins of the NHL, and they might win. It's like a coin flip. You don't know who's going to win the next game. It's stupid. This great season could just be over. So we'll see tomorrow, 3:30, right? 3:30. I won't back down. You're goddamn right about that. Yeah, Jimmy Butler is just a winner. He is just a winner, man. Will you be able to tape the can? I don't know. I'll have to ask that. From the pews? I don't think it's church, but do they call them pews? Is Colin Albert on the football team? And as far as I know, he still is. It's not football season, so. Yeah, I have court against Victoria Haskins next Monday in Leominster. We'll see if she shows up. I have a lot of court. I have a deposition with Mark Randazza on Monday. I'm going to meet Mark for the first time face-to-face Monday. I'm going to his office in Gloucester for the depot with Julia Mejia, and maybe she'll be there too. Oh, the Bees game is at 6:30. Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. Would love to have Butler on the Celtics. So would I. My niece says he's in hiding for good reason. No, Victoria's dad never called me back. No, they can't keep me from entering the courthouse. It's a public courthouse. I wish I could have got that on a t-shirt for this court proceedings. You know what? It's like I really wish if Josh Abrams just used his channel for good, like this would be the perfect shit to do. Why isn't he there? What are you doing with your time? You know, he put on some pounds too. Boy, he got heavy. So I don't have like a Colin up there. That's all I got. I'll read Dono comments. Do we have more Donos? Hold on. Oh, we got a couple newer Donos here. Hold on. Anonymous says, can we get paternity tests on all the kids? There are a lot of people wondering for a very long time which kid belongs to which Albert. Is there really? Is that true? Oh. Another one here from Kimberly sends $50. Says, regarding Jennifer saying Karen walked into the bar with a glass, was her setting her up for the murder weapon. Oh, I see what you're saying, Kimberly. That makes, see, that's interesting. Subs have hit the roof. He got like 140,000. Who? Oh, Josh? I don't know. No, it's like, I can't, like, he's annoying, but like, imagine if he used his channel for good, it could actually be good. Like, some people need to be audited. Like, I'm not against the idea of auditing public people that deserve to be. Like, don't go picking fights with the woman in, Whitman Town Hall. Like, what does that do? Get in the kitchen and make me a chicken parm. I need that. Go make me a chicken parm, Chris. Shut up. You're not blocked, G-Money. You're right here. Again, anyone is welcome. So afterwards, I do have plans afterwards. I have a meeting afterwards. So it's a 2:00 hearing in Dedham. I'm going somewhere afterwards, so I won't be able to chill. All right. Anyone else have any questions they want to ask me before it? Oh, how long to die in cold? Oh, did I get that wrong? Okay. Well, it rhymed in the rap. How long to die? Hoss long to die in cold. Hoss long to die in cold. Caroline Forth sends $10 and says, for actual investigative journalism, the Little League pitcher is sad. Yes, it is. Where's Brian Albert living? He's living in Norwood, I'm told. He lives in Norwood, which is right next to Canton. He has an apartment there. But I'm told he's separated from his wife, Coco, Nicole. I don't know where she's living. And I'm also told that more and more shit's going to come out. More shit's going to come out. And there's, we haven't even gotten to the sexual stuff because quite frankly, it's irrelevant, but there appears to be a whole lot of swinging going on, which again, pro swinger, always have been. Pro do whatever the hell you want. But like, can we keep it out of the family? I feel like that shouldn't be that big of an ask. What else we got here? Is a pizza place getting attacked? I don't know. I heard they haven't been open much since this started. Considering Alec Baldwin. Monica's no Alec Baldwin, so. Oh my God. I want to see Jennifer McCabe so badly. She might be so brazen that she actually shows up. They might be that stupid that they actually show up. We'll see. We'll see. The make me a chicken parm. I've already got somebody already made a meme. It's already a meme. I got to show this. This is funny. You guys are too good. This is good. Okay, hold on. I laughed at this one. Where do you guys come up with this shit so fast? Make me a chicken parm, bitch. Oh, that's priceless. Oh, that's good. I like that. I like that a lot. I'll definitely do like a post court live session for sure, Scott. Isn't swinger number one? You don't sneak bang on. I don't know. I've never signed a swinger's contract before. I mean, as you know, may have dabbled in that myself, but there was no. We'll see. That's a different story. Okay. I've got another turtle chat here from Jared. Sends $25. Says, can't get enough of this. Great work unraveling all this. Well, thank you very much, Jared. I appreciate that, sir. Very kind of you. Anyone else have anything to say? How many thumbs up we got so far? What are we up to for thumbs ups? 542. Give us a big thumbs up if you haven't already. We still got 1,200 people in here at this time. That's great to see. Ew. I'm very interested in that library footage. I'm very interested in that. No, I'm not calling them again. We already called. They're not going to pick up. So what's the point? Why was Chris Albert's wife and father even at the town meeting? That's a good question because they don't. I'm sure they don't go to every meeting. They probably want to kill themselves if they did. It sounds so boring. I think they were there just to make a statement. Like we're not going to be bullied. Like we're the fucking Alberts. They're like the people from Billy Madison. O'Doyle rule. They're the O'Doyles of Canton. Albert rules. Albert rules. Albert rules. And they go off a cliff in a school bus. So, all right, guys. I'm going to call it a night then. Thank you guys for joining us and following along with this. And I appreciate all the donos, everybody that helped out. Really appreciate that. And I hope you guys enjoyed the freestyle. And stay tuned. We're going to have more of this shit coming, man. This is the story that never ends. At some point, I'm going to get back to other stories. But yeah, go Bruins tomorrow. Peace, Turtle Riders. Love you all.